Hello, Mr. President, Donald Trump, sir. Kenny Jameson here again. Today's Friday. You're passing that budget. I just saw it on the news with only 100 miles of the wall appropriated. Nothing for DACA. You think the Democrats would have not went through with this because that's why they shut it down before. But anyways, now that you have the military funding, I sent you a voice text before about this, about putting 3 soldiers every half a mile all the way on that border. I don't care if they're in FEMA trailers, in tents. 3 of them. That way they could rotate 8-hour shifts. Get a road going from one end to the other so they could get their supplies. I'm not worried about the military taking care of the logistics on keeping them fed and showered and having somebody pay to get their laundry done. I'm not worried like in the Iraq. Well, that's a whole other story, $100 a bag. But get those soldiers down there on that border, and then you'll get some art of the deal action going. People will go, because you didn't get the additional funding, well, you got some additional funding for the Border Patrol. Why is the Border Patrol not the U.S. military? Well, how is that 2 separate entities? Although we understand all the 3-letter word separate entities, put some of the guys that were down there in Austin, the hundreds and hundreds of 3-letter government agency guys that were in Austin, get some of them down on the border. Actually, just the plain old everyday army, there are thousands of those guys living in motels in this country because the bases are too full. And if you don't believe that, check where'd Jim have his surgery? Not Columbia, South Carolina. Not Charlottesville, over on the ocean over there. Oh, there's a big military base over there in North Carolina. Charleston. Check Charleston, North Carolina, and see how many guys are living in motels. All over the country, military guys are living in motels, getting that free breakfast in the morning at the motel. Get them out of the motels, get them to work, get them off the bases, rotate them out, leave them out there for a week or 2 in their tents or their FEMA trailers, have them rotate from one base to the other, get some wireless communication going there between each one, so if one of them does get attacked, they can get 3 guys from the north and 3 guys from the south real quick, or 2 guys, leave 1 guy at the main station, because there's thousands of illegals coming across the border. So 3 every half mile is not really enough. Got to get some drones flying, get them all protected, get the Air Force, station some planes out there. You don't even have to put an airport in, you can land anywhere out there. Get a bunch of helicopters over there. You've got enough money to do it now, to close that border from Brownsville to San Diego with U.S. military is my whole point. Be good training for them to get off the bases and go camping for a couple, 3 weeks at a time. Good training for them, survivalist training. They could eat some canned food. You could have a food truck go up and down. You got the money to do it now. Let's put the military to work in the world where they're needed the most. And that's from Brownsville, Texas to San Diego. And then they can guard, have them dig a trench while they're there. That way they got the foundation for the wall started. They're sitting there doing nothing. Have them dig in. Get some surveyors out there. Let's get a lot of activity from contractors, surveyors, the media, everybody that wants to get hundreds of thousands of people to live across that border. Americans. Let's get talking about this a little bit more. And we all know that Mexico is going to pay for the wall through the tariffs you just are putting in. There's so much imports coming out of Mexico's cars, appliances. That money should directly go into the fund to build the wall. That shouldn't go into the general fund. That's your tariffs. You should get that money in a separate fund. $60 billion from China in tariffs should go directly into the wall. Any money that you're appropriating should go directly into the wall. Once you get the wall built, then you can worry about starting to pay down the debt, which has got to get balanced and paid down just to shut everybody up. You know, knock it back down to 19.5 where it was when you started a year ago. It hasn't even went up at the same rate that it went up for the previous 8 years. It went up over, well, $10 trillion in 8 years. So until that happens, you got an open ticket here. I know you want to control that debt too, because it's coming out that the interest on the national debt is going to be more than we spend on our whole military. Aircraft carriers, fuel training, salaries, retirements. That's a big budget. Put them to work down there on the border, sir. We'd appreciate it. And I think that will, you'll see from the art of the deal that that will come around and benefit. You'll get the rest of the wall. Thanks. Kenny Jameson here. Call me or shoot me back an instant message like this. I'm not much of a tweeter. Talk to you later. Bye.